Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the exciting second-year quarterback, Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens, as they take on last year's #1 overall pick, Baker Mayfield, and the upstart Cleveland Browns. So with that, let's get up to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. For the call, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Well, the folks here, they are bundled up, but they're ready for football as you get a look at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and we've got an AFC North tilt here, and this is a division coming into 2019 where maybe you're saying, is there a changing at the guard at the top?
And if so, could it be a team that possibly we haven't talked about in a long time? Could it be the Cleveland Browns? Because they are the trendy pick right now with the young quarterback Baker Mayfield, the acquisition of Odell Beckham Jr., and so many other great moves that they've made along the way. Can they now move to the top of the leaderboard ahead of Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati? They believe they can.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Ravens offense coming onto the field. There's quarterback Lamar Jackson. And you don't want to hand out awards until the season's officially over. But
MVP.
Yeah, I think the engraver's workbench is prepped and ready to go to put his name on there. NFL record for rushing yards in a season by a quarterback, passing Michael Vick in Week 15 against the Jets. If you're looking to the playoffs, what do teams need to do to slow down Lamar Jackson?
Well, what they're going to try to do is take away all of the running game. And that means you've got to take away Mark Ingram as well, his tailback, because if he gets things established running inside, that's when Lamar Jackson's really dangerous, faking it to him and getting to the edges. But you're going to put extra people with eyes on him to try and take away the run. So for the playoffs, Lamar Jackson, just be prepared to hit those layups downfield because there will be open receivers.
Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans, but then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go. And a very good offensive unit is running back Mark Ingram.
Took a little while for him to find his footing when he got into the league, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has it now and has really upped his pass receiving potential. A nice player.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Get that quarterback, D-line.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Try to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Too easy.
And here's the starting crew defensively for Cleveland.
When you're the #1 overall pick in the NFL draft of 2017, puts a little extra scrutiny. Defensive end Myles Garrett is certainly used to it. In 2018, came into his own his 2nd year in the league with 13.5 sacks and really expects to increase that total in years to come.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Here we go. Here we go.
From the gun, it's Jackson. He finds Roberts, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 49-yard line. They run. It's Mark Ingram. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the 1st half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
Time to go, night.
Jackson. Open man is the tight end, Nick Boyle. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 25-yard line.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone?
Yeah, let's go second one.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Jackson from the shotgun. Roberts has it. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the gun, Jackson. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. Well, they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. Jackson from the gun, he'll throw. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. This from 54 yards away. And this one is right down Broadway. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
Excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Cleveland getting ready for their first drive. Baker Mayfield, the quarterback. There he is, the 24-year-old who came into this year, like the rest of the team, with very high expectations. Touchdown to interception ratio this season, well, it's been right around 50-50. Much different from a year ago when he had 27 touchdowns to just 14 interceptions. But I mentioned all the hype around he and the Browns coming in. Last year, 7-8-1. A lot of people thinking maybe they could make a deep run in the playoffs this year. But looks like Baker and company going to finish the season right around that same record. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. Mayfield now. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. Well, you're already down on the scoreboard, and now, Charles, you go out there, very first play, throw the interception. That defense, they're going to have to bow up.
Yeah, and let's see how they handle this, because we always talk about reverting back to what you practice. Well, you practice these situations. It's called sudden change. You don't expect to be out there this fast, but you are. Do you go out there with poise, or do you go out there with panic? Panic and get you scored on again.
As the Ravens come back out here on offense, we talked about Lamar Jackson earlier, Charles, but these Ravens, they rolled through the middle part of the season. Couple losses in September, but undefeated in October, November, and rolled that into December. They've answered every big question thus far. The wins over Seattle, New England, Houston, the Rams, the Niners and Bills as well. Are they the favorites to hoist the Lombardi Trophy in Miami on February 2nd?
I believe they are, because they are a complete team. As much as Lamar Jackson powers everything on offense, he has Marquise Hollywood Brown out wide. He can throw the ball deep too. Dependable tight ends led by Mark Andrews. Really good offensive line. Mark Ingram can run it. The defense comes at you from every imaginable angle. And if you're trying to prepare on offense for them, it is hard to do, and your quarterback gets hit a lot. And they have the best kicker in the league in Justin Tucker. That's a big formula for success when come playoff time.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They run from the pistol with Ingram. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
I got one.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. Roberts got it. And out across midfield down to the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 45-yard line. This is Ingram. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Play action. It's Jackson. Snead's got it. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 25-yard line.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
It's just me and you.
Play action. Now Jackson under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. On the counter, Ingram. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
That's what I'm talking about.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
Let's go.
Operating from the gun, Jackson. It's caught by Mark Ingram. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So scores on their first two possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Johnson's got it complete. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Let's meet the offense. Greg Robinson. Very, very talented.
What a man to set your offensive line with. Greg Robinson can do it all. Tremendous athleticism, great strength, just coming into his own.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now the third leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
Let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here.
To throw, Mayfield. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Cyrus Jones back to return for the Ravens. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best.
On the gas.
Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram. He goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield. Although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence, Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. He can run for it, and he will. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big time play.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And our statistician, Ben Ramsauer, just held up 3 fingers to remind me he now has 3 tackles for a loss only in the first quarter.
Well, Ben's got it detailed perfectly. He always gives us the right stats. I'd love to be on the offense's headset right now because what you're hearing is, can someone please block him? Come up with a scheme. Come up with something. Make sure you block him because he's disrupting everything.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson, flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 40.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not.
Here we go.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now, right at the 40. Here's Jackson to throw. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Now Jackson. They go screen. This is Ingram. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Let's go.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Cleveland Browns ready to set up shop for their next drive. And this is a Browns team, Charles, that has been on a roller coaster ride this year. Entered the season with all those expectations. One bright spot's been Nick Chubb. He's been great at running back. He's in contention for the rushing title, but they didn't string together back-to-back wins until week 11, and they've just been treading water all season. And get this, they're not going to finish above 500 this year. The last time that the Browns were above 500, 2007.
And just think that would have been, or let me rephrase that, that should have been a heck of a goal for this franchise. To show considerable growth, right? Move above 500. And show that they're going to be a contender for years to come. But things really got out of whack in the offseason. All of a sudden, people were talking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got there, all right? Even with hindsight, you're like, how is that discussion coming up? But it was. Super Bowl, playoffs, all of that. So now it looks like a major disappointment when they could actually finish 500, which should show growth.
Well, sometimes expectations come, but for not the right reason. I mean, Baker Mayfield, he's a guy that makes a lot of headlines, OBJ, and a lot of drama this year. Sometimes those headlines weren't for the right reasons.
Exactly, and we have to remember, and we should have seen it coming, that we should have tempered things. Second-year quarterback, rookie head coach, meshing with new players and new talent on both sides of the ball. That usually takes time. We were looking for the quick fix.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball. When that wasn't necessary, incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
Fourth down, and on is Greg Joseph for the Browns field goal. The wind is at his back here in the second quarter. The kick by Joseph is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Joseph now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe somebody to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
On second down, Ingram. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. He was searching for a lane, but on that play, everything closed very fast.
Yeah, so far the one-on-one stuff up front, trying to block those big men, not really working too well. I'm thinking maybe some traps, maybe some sweeps to get them moving. That might help out a little bit to try and find some room to run.
And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. A good rally to the football holds him to 2, and that brings up a 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep for the Browns, Antonio Callaway. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. From the 22, Mayfield. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
180! Check, 48's the mic. You better be afraid of me. What's up?
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Tackle made there by Chris Wormley.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Check, check. Lucky.
On second down, Johnson.
It's run, fellas, it's run.
Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Alert. 3 down.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Screen play, Johnson. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
I see you, boy. I see you.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time.
Get ready.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. Now it's Ingram. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Hey, here we go.
Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
The Ravens on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 7. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. We get a glance at Duke Johnson as he heads back out onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 11. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the gun, Mayfield. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
The Browns on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd down and 12. Dumping it off for Johnson. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the 1st down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. Here's Britton Colquitt now, standing just about on his own goal line. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Ingram. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Ingram. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
Now Ingram, he's been busy today. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Denzel Ward, the number 4 pick in the 2018 draft, making the tackle from his corner spot.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. They'll roll him out right. He's going to take off with it. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 35. Well, everyone in this stadium knows Jackson can do that as well as any QB in the league. They talked about limiting some of his running this year, especially the design runs, but he's still going to scramble when he feels he has green in front of him. He led all quarterbacks last year, 695 yards rushing. And keep in mind, 80% of those came in the 7-game stretch when he was named starter late in the season. Jackson now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Marquise Brown, the rookie, his intended target, and it's 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
On 2nd down now, it's Ingram. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Justin Tucker now for the Raven field goal try. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Beckham and the Browns set to take over again. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get in the ball. We'll see if they can do it. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. A run for Nick Chubb, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41.
That's it, baby.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Hey, watch this, watch this.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in four-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
The Browns on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on third down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
First down, Mayfield. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Yeah, you don't want none.
Here's Mayfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Throwing, Mayfield. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield.
Come on, Lott. Come on, Lott. We better than that.
Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Here's Britton Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. And he's been fun to watch run the football. We know he can pass, but using his legs effectively here in this one.
No doubt about it. Watch him maneuver in the pocket, out of the pocket, making the plays that he's making, which are breaking down the defense. I thought back to when we had our morning jog before the game, and I couldn't keep up with you. Those legs, they're valuable for his team.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing is Jackson. It's complete to Snead. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Check Mike, check Mike.
From the gun, Jackson. He'll buy some time right. And now he's going to use his legs. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 9. It's now 12-3. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now Mayfield. This is the tight end, Njoku. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Mayfield now. He finds his man Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Mayfield now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Now Chubb. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll run it with Johnson. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
I'm coming after you.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And again, it's Chubb. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And that is incomplete. There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He connected on his first, this from 41. The kick by Joseph is good. And that'll move them back within 6 now. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Joseph now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the 2nd half. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. CD, with that incompletion, let's talk AFC playoff picture. I think you and I agree that if you put together any sort of power rankings, we'd put Baltimore #1, certainly in the AFC. But you look ahead to the playoffs getting started on January 4th. Who do you see as their main competitor for that Lamar Hunt trophy?
Well, tradition and us not wanting to be wrong dictates that we say New England next. And rightly so, because of the number of Lombardi trophies they've won, how they've always played at this time of year. But the bottom line to me is the prime contenders right now for Baltimore, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes has got it together. The defense is playing better. And Buffalo really showed me something when they beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh on a Sunday night in Week 15.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Denzel Ward right there in coverage to get the hand in.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. Now Callaway on the return, shedding through the defense. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop. Check 3. Check.
On the ground, it's Chubb. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They go play action. Mayfield. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Mayfield now, 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Chubb. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, got to make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
180. 40. Hey, check.
On 2nd down and 4. Mayfield. That's complete to Demetrius Harris, the tight end. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On first down, Johnson. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And finally, wrestled down at the 11.
Here we go.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Pin the mirrors back.
Mayfield on first down. His pass caught at the 4. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They run. Chubb. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Mayfield looks to throw. And this is caught for a Browns touchdown by Landry. The 3-yard touchdown pass as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Point after, up and good. And that will put them on top here in the 3rd. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Joseph now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go.
And the Ravens taking the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Jackson from the shotgun, and his throw here is incomplete. He was looking for Nick Boyle that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down. With that incompletion, Charles, one of the big storylines in the final few weeks of the season lies in the AFC South. Tennessee and Houston battling back and forth. Houston won round 1, week 15, a victory in Nashville. But which of those two teams do you think has the potential to go deeper in the playoffs?
Well, Tennessee just lost at home to Houston, and now we'll have to go on the road to play them again in Week 17. So I would say, on the surface, you would think Houston. They have the quarterback as well in Deshaun Watson that scares everyone. But I'm picking Tennessee as a team that could go deeper because of their defense. That's really a top 5 defense on any given Sunday. Their ability to rush the passer, their ability to play the ball in the air. I like that Tennessee team, and I think Ryan Tannehill, the switch to him at quarterback has really energized that club.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
Here's Sam Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. To throw, Mayfield. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Off the draw, here's Johnson. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
We ain't giving up nothing today.
Mayfield to throw it. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, that play really didn't fool them. They completed the screen pass, but for lost yardage, a really nice play by the defense.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And possession will switch hands 1st and 10. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. And a 20th carry now for Ingram. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. It's caught by Roberts. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Check 53's Mike.
I smell fear in that offense.
Now Jackson on first down. That's into the hands of the tight end Boyle. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Ravens have retaken the lead. The tight end can kind of be that diamond in the rough secret weapon that you have, and right there they show you why.
And it's becoming less of a secret, isn't it, partner? Every game that we do nowadays, the tight end is a featured receiver, not just a blocker, as in the days of old.
John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the two-point conversion. They'll try and run with Ingram. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for two?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Back to you.
From the gun, Mayfield, and nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Brandon Carr on the coverage there. Well, let's get back to the playoff picture. We talked about the AFC. Let's look at the NFC. That race starting to come into focus. We know most of the teams, Seahawks, 49ers, Saints, and Packers all in. Vikings in good shape. How do you handicap this race? It seems like anyone can beat anyone.
I think you're spot on, because if you were going into the playoffs with these teams that we're going to talk about, who would you make the absolute favorite? It could be anyone, right? It could be Seattle. It could be San Francisco. It could be New Orleans. I know Minnesota's probably going to come in as a wild card. Green Bay will come in as a division champ, it looks like. But bottom line is, Dallas or Philadelphia's got to win the NFC East. And I don't know that anyone wants to go to their home field and play when they have to play in a divisional game. So when you get it all together, and maybe that would be a wild card, I would guess, because they'd be the 4th team in. But when you put it all together, it is absolutely wide open about who wins the NFC and represents for the Lombardi Trophy. They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Watch the twist, watch the twist.
Ingram again. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. This is Ingram. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. An ideal spot here to get a 1st down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now on 2nd and 16, Jackson sliding out of the pocket. He'll run it. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Here we go.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. They go screen. This is Ingram. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Baker Mayfield, as a rookie, 3 times he led the Browns back to victory in the 4th quarter. What can he do here in year number 2? And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. On 2nd down, Mayfield again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. Well, it was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. 3rd and long for Mayfield. Underneath for Johnson. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. From the gun, it's Jackson. Rolling to his right. He'll try and run it. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Jackson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Check, 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 check.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now, to stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. He's got it to Ingram, complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 45-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 45-yard line. They run from the pistol with Ingram. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd.
Oh, boy, I know you felt that one. I know you felt that one.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And it looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. And he's got Snead. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 30.
Let's go.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Jackson now operating from the gun. He's going to find his tight end Boyle. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter is a good running back dive play.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Watch the screen. Pass.
Now it's Jackson. Outright, this is Boyle, the tight end. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 7 yards there and a 1st down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. This has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Here's Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. And this one will be brought back to the 22. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. And after the slow start, the numbers show he has really straightened things out. How often sometimes is that you come into a game and the defense is game planned a little differently than you expected?
More often than maybe people realize, so adjustments are often a big part of each and every game, and it's not just getting to halftime. It's series to series to make it work, and being able to hang in there when there's a little adversity early and see them able to flip it around, it's kind of gratifying for a team to watch, especially for a coach.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield, and he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down and 11-yard pickup.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mayfield, and he's got the hook up to Landry. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A gain there of 21 yards. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Mayfield with it once more. His throw incomplete.
Normally he's pretty reliable. He usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
It's our time.
Going to the air again with Mayfield. Screen play, Johnson. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. They wound up getting nothing out of that second down completion. So now here's 3rd and 10. Mayfield, and he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Let's put that team on.
Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. And that is incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
A good way there to have him bounce back from the interception last drive. Something underneath, a little bit of rhythm going.
I know the best ones in the league have supreme confidence, but every now and then you need a little booster, don't you? This is their way of protecting him and bringing him back, and then they'll turn him loose later, I would think.
On 2nd down, Ingram. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
He dumps it down to Ingram. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And he gets it down to the 32. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And he is going to lose yardage here. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13.
We got this.
And he'll go down at the 28. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6.
You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing.
Now Jackson. He goes underneath to Ingram. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 18.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Jackson now rebounding nicely after the interception. He's hit 4 straight to start the drive. It's first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. Now he'll pull it down, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women